between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Got it. Mine's 50, mine's 50. Okay, just like that, just like that. Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
And everyone always tells me the fullback is leaving the game, and then I say, hold on a second. What about Kyle Juszczyk? 2-time Pro Bowler, maybe the best all-around fullback in the game for his ability to block, catch, and occasionally run the football inside.
McKinnon, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Eric Berry exemplifies what I think you're looking for in an NFL safety nowadays. He's what I call a down and distance guy. No matter what the offense has down and distance, they're going to deploy him in a spot where he can have the greatest impact. Versus the run, versus the pass, Eric Berry can do it all.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowsky to punt the football. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes. So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 20 carries, 95 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get to play action and throw the ball deep later on.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissler. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd down, McKinnon. Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
I'm scared. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Here's Carson. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Carson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down now, McKinnon. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Looking to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the 2nd quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
He'll find Metcalf. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. A throw over the middle, taken in. And Owen caught it up, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Coming to you.
On 1st down, Wilson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson to throw again. That is incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Throwing again here, Wilson. This complete to Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Again, Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal. Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game. It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him. Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Wilson now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They go play action with Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 54 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the 2nd half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. And so far, their game plan, whatever it's been on this side of the football, working pretty well.
And I like where you went there, the game plan. You know that they spent all week watching tape, evaluating, putting together that game plan that they thought would be effective. But there's nothing like seeing it actually work on game day. What we're seeing here, wow, what a performance by them so far.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's McKinnon, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
380. Right there, 56. Get the ball.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
280. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Wilson From the gun, he'll throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They run it with Carson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Check 56. Double up. That's the way.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
What we got?
Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down. But you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there. Kick it. Put it through the post. Go up 2 scores.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position. A touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. He's back to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards, first down Niners. Back to throw. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Deebo Samuel in the final minute as they are now an extra point away from perhaps stealing one here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Wilson and the Seahawks down 7-6, 33 seconds to go. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot.
20. 6 right there, 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He'll find Metcalf. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. This from long, very long range. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Niners, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.